Hi guys, welcome to another video with me. Since it is April, I am feeling tulips, and so we are going to be doing tulips today. And we're going to be using the following items. I'm back to using the Watercolor Postcards by Etchr. I think they are perfect, and why not create a nice Easter themed postcard while we're doing this video as well. I've got my shell palette by ZenART, and for brushes we're using something slightly different today. I am using my half-inch oval wash by Princeton Neptune. I am using the round number 6 by Princeton Neptune, and then finally the 2 Filbert, which is by ZenART Supplies, their miniature brush collection. For colors, I'm using my tried and true White Nights set of 36, and I would love to use some jewel tones today. So I am thinking something along the lines of ruby mixed in with a little bit of carmine, some quin rose mixed in with some violet. Sorry, not quin rose. Yeah, quin rose or quin lilac, doesn't matter. I feel like they're they're in the same area. And then for greens, we're going to use the chromium oxide mixed in with a little bit of green. All right, so here we go. We're going to start off by mixing some colors. And so I'll use the oval wash to create our nice, beautiful shapes for the tulips. And then we are going to use the number 6 to go in and get some darker tones for it. So keep in mind, this is going to be loose, it's going to be fun. If you're a beginner, this is perfect for you. Okay, so let's start off by mixing some color. I'm going to mix some of my carmine first. And in fact, you know what? Instead of a whole lot of mixing, I'm most likely going to just add a little bit of color to the palette and then just go directly into painting these beautiful and easy flowers. So there's the carmine. I'm gonna rub some of that off over here, get some of the ruby and mix that into whatever we have left over of the carmine, and then getting some of that on here, and I'm gonna get some of the quin lilac and mix that here. So we've got different hues of these flowers, and we'll also mix a little bit of white to get some interesting tonal range happening for these colors that we've just recently mixed. So I'm getting some white from my color cake here. I'm just going to put that in there. Now once I start painting, this whole palette's probably going to get really messed up, but all good. So we'll do the flowers first, and then we're going to do the extensions for the stems. Okay, I'm not sure if there will be enough room to do any of the leaves, but let's just try it anyways and go for it, right? Okay, so let's start off by using some, well, whatever we have on the brush. I think I have some of the purpley hue on here, so let's just start with that. Move that out of the way, move this up so you can see better. And we're starting off by doing our first floral sort of in this direction, pressing down, adding another stroke and another one here, and bring some of my water closer so I can get some dampness onto my brush. So there we go. Very loose, very simple, very easy. There's one. I'm gonna get some water onto my brush, wash some of that off. I'm gonna get a little bit of that carmine, and we're gonna do another one over here. Now the reason I picked the oval for this is because it has that nice pointed shape at the top, and that's what helps me with getting that easier stroke for the tulip shape. I'm gonna get some of that color, the quin lilac, and add that at the bottom and allow it to just like seep and do its thing into the rest of the flower. And then I'm going to get some of the carmine and add that over here. Perfect. And we're continuing on. I'm going to get some of the ruby this time and do one over here, pushing all the color down to the bottom of the flower. I'm going to tweak this a little bit. Adding a little bit of a stroke at the top to make it look like there's background petals. Now I'm mixing some of the white in with whatever color I had, and what I'm going to do is create a tulip that's kind of like open. So I'm leaving more white space and creating more of these strokes in there. So something like that. Then washing off most of what I have on my brush, I'm going to go ahead, get some of that white again, add it to some of the purple hue that I had. And I don't know why I'm just fixated on this flower. And we're going to go ahead and create another one. And this one, let's just make that touching this. I'm just going to add a couple of strokes to this guy here too. Make it really loosey and open. One more over here. Again, you can see how loose and simple these are to do just by how I'm laying down the color. And immediately what I want to do before everything dries up is just get some of that darker color from the color cakes and just add some color there right away. Same thing here. And again, we're adding some nice highlights and shadowy effects here. And let's just do whatever leftover color you have. Let's just do another one. This time I'm just going to use this brush. Adding some of that darker hue at the bottom, some at the top. So we've got quite a bit of purple, so if we do any more, which I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think I'll just do one more. Another open one. Let's just do another open one. Actually, no. We don't have room for an open one, so I'll just do a regular sort of one sideways. Great, perfect. So now we're moving on to the green. And so for the green, I'm going to mix, like I mentioned, mixing some chromium oxide. And then we're going to get some of the, now you can use the number 6 or use the Zen flat brush if you have. Yeah, so now I'm going to get the green for highlights directly from my color cake. Where's the brush? This is it here, the Filbert. And the reason I picked this is because it's a little bit thick. So if I go loosely and add my stroke, it won't be, it'll give me a thicker kind of stroke. So I should probably practice first. There's one. Here's another. Here's another. Actually, right now, just get some of that green and just add it before things dry up. And we're pretty much just like doing the attachments of these stems in curves almost. So it's kind of curving in. If you've noticed, we're not going straight down, except for maybe this one. Actually, no, this one's also a little bit of a curve. And then the variation in green, as you can see, adds something quite nice. This is a super short one, as you can see. And then finally we got one more from the top. So they're kind of all over the place. But again, loose, easy, fun, a nice shock of color to the senses, and so pretty to look at. Right? So one more thing that I would like to do is adding some splatter of the lighter pink color that we have onto here. So, or whatever you have left over on your palette, really. You can get some of that purple as well. Add some of that, maybe even get some darker tones of it. Although we got a lot of purple, so I'm going to get some of that carmine instead. And I went to get more water so I can get a bigger splatter. Now I want these to sort of dry up as other background florals happening without me having to actually go in and paint anything. So again, keeping it loose, keeping it beginner friendly, keeping it fun, and just exploring mixing colors. So I hope you guys paid attention to all of that. If not, I would suggest rewinding and rewatching that just to sort of make notes for colors that blend well together and, you know, creating something pretty without expending too much time. One last thing that I would like to do, and then we are done, is adding a little bit of metallic. And this is just for people who like shimmer and shine. And if you don't, you can absolutely not do this step, I guess. So I'm going to get some of my KMS metallics, and we're going to use a little bit of, let's see, we're going to use a little bit of the champagne. Actually, no, let's make it the pink champagne because that's a nice color. And I think it'll go nicer with our pinks and purples that we have happening. So I'm activating this. And I literally want to create little elements around these flowers. So it could be like a splatter if you wish. Or it could be like berry elements. Or it could be actually mini flowers. I'll leave that up to you. I am going to decide what I do as soon as I'm done activating this color, which is kind of almost now. Okay, so I've decided I'm going to go ahead and make this step more of a berry type elements, and those are again so easy to do, and just if you want to ever embellish your artwork. So I'm just going to create tiny little dots off in a direction. And then I will be connecting these with a green or something like that. So there's one. I'm going to do another one over here. Feel free to use it or add these wherever you feel you need to. So we've got 1, 2, and I'll do one more happening over on this end over here at the bottom, I think. Yeah, so we've got 1, 2, 3, and it can intersect just a tad bit, but with what we have there. This is just a smaller version of what we've been doing there. Perfect. And so now that I've done that, I'll go and get some of the remaining green that we have. And actually, I'm going to mix a little bit of that green with some of the leftover color just to get a slightly, it's not working. So I'm going to get some of that ruby, mix it in with the green just to get a tad bit of a darker hue. And I think that would work quite nicely with this champagne glitter shimmer shine metallic, and also make the element stand out a bit more compared to the other green leaves that we have happening. I was just serving to see what it looks like. Perfect. And I like that because of this brush, I'm able to get a thinner, I'm using the side of this brush, by the way. Exact same brush that we used to create the thicker stems, but now I'm using the side of this brush to get a thinner stem for these guys. And extending this all the way down. And that's it. There we go. This is what we have. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you thought. Hit the like button and consider subscribing if you like videos like this. I've got a ton of other videos for beginners and also for intermediate people who love painting flowers. And I do a couple of other items as well. So check it out. And if you do this and you are on Instagram and Facebook, I would love to see how yours turns out. So please do tag me online. My social media handles are listed below. One more thing, because it's the Easter season, if you haven't watched the videos where I paint the Easter eggs or even the floral Easter egg that we've done, please do check it out. I will be linking it in the description below as well if you're looking for ideas to paint this Easter. Thanks, guys.